Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Console. This week's episode is super interesting. I was very excited to check this project out. It is a Gatsby theme called Code Notes that was written by a developer named Xander Martineau, I believe is his name. I'll be linking to all of his contact information as I usually do in the description of this video. This project was super cool, super interesting in my opinion. What it is it's a web app, a Gatsby theme, if you will, for taking notes, technical notes about your code and things like that. And what makes it so interesting is rather than standard Markdown, you can add things like Figma and CodePen and all these other things because it's on the web browser, right? So you're able to take advantage of all the functionality that the web browser affords you while you're taking your notes, which since we've been on a note-taking kick, we talked about Zettelkasten last week. I figured this was a perfect follow-up episode to that episode, so let's dive right in. So here is the blog post on Xander's blog where he's announcing the release of the Gatsby theme. You can see I'm checking out the various themes he's got on his personal blog. But he goes through and basically motivates why he created this Gatsby theme and what purpose it serves and all those other things, right? I talked about this already in the introduction, though, right? It provides you a bunch of advantages because it's running in the web browser. So generally, that's why he created it. It also allows you to share notes pretty easily with your teammates and things like that as well, right? But I won't spend too much time on the blog post compared to other console episodes where that's the majority of the content. In this case, we're going to pull down the repo, the Gatsby theme, and start playing around with it almost immediately. Before we do that, however, this is it, basically. He's open sourced this, and it's sitting in a GitHub repo right now, so you can pull down this web page and start taking notes immediately, which is what we're going to do. But this gives you a general idea of what I'm talking about here and why this is such a cool idea. This is actually Xander's notes himself that he's got hosted on his personal website. So you can see what sort of functionality this note-taking Gatsby theme is actually going to provide us. It's, like I said, it's super cool, right? It's searchable. You've got tags sitting there on the left, so you can filter by tags as well. And then also, as you saw already, there's code snippets and things like that. So this is the GitHub repo, as usual. It'll be in the description of the video. And it shows you basically what you need to know to pull down the Gatsby theme and play around with it yourself. Super easy if you've got the Gatsby CLI, which I didn't. Things I'd done previously were using Jekyll rather than Gatsby. So I had to go install the Gatsby CLI. That was super trivial, though. It's an npm-g command, right? But once you have the Gatsby CLI, it's as simple as running that command right there, and you've got the repo locally, and you can start developing in it almost immediately, which I'll show you in a second. So my Gatsby installation just finished. I'm just going to run the command that he already provided in the GitHub repo, and this is going to pull down the Gatsby theme, and we're going to be able to run that locally. So the Gatsby installation finished for this particular repo. You can see it's giving us a little nudge, right? CD code notes and then Gatsby develop, which after doing that, it'll serve the page on localhost 8000 right here. And this is my version of what we'd already looked at of Xander's code notes page, right? And what he's done in the repository is given you some example notes, right? One small example note, so you kind of have a general idea of what is it going to take to create notes, and how's that going to show up, how's that going to render on the page, and all this stuff, right? So here's an example note he's given us in the repository. We could delete it, create our own, all that other stuff. So that's basically what I'm going to do here. Is I'm going to create my own note and just kind of see how this web page behaves. So here's the note I added, right? Some test note. I gave it a little test tube for my emoji, and it just got a basic console log statement in there, but you can see that it's added the tags, it's done the indexing, so I can keyword search through this and everything like that. So it was very simple to get set up, very simple to add the notes. This was absolutely fantastic. That's everything for this week's episode of Console. It was a short one, right? It's because it was so easy to get everything set up, so I didn't have to do too much work. This is awesome. I'm pretty stoked about this project. I'm probably going to be using it myself. The only problem here is, right, it's kind of intended to be hosted and kind of available publicly, right? One problem I could see with the project is a lot of us are taking proprietary notes, right? So if you don't know already, I'm an engineer at Amazon, right? And so I would be using this throughout my day to keep notes about all the development I'm doing at Amazon, and I'm positive they wouldn't like me putting that up publicly anywhere, right? So what I could see myself doing with this is just hosting it locally, just so I can have that functionality for like the searching and the tag filtering and yeah, all the goodies of the web page, but I just probably won't be able to host it publicly, sadly. But yeah, I absolutely love this project. It was really cool to play around with, and I'm definitely going to be using it in the future. That's everything for this week. See you next week.